Abhinav Shukla, thank you so much for joining me on ETimes TV. And I must congratulate
Thank
you.
you.
Your wife has won. So I'm sure you are equally happy as her.
Absolutely.
Have the celebrations stopped or are they still going on?
So technically the celebration hasn't yet started. It was just a choti si celebration. Because there's a lot of interviews lined up, a lot of work calls. So I think probably once we streamline the interviews and the work calls, uske baad we'll have time to celebrate. So as of now, we're just focusing on the, just the work. And there's a lot of fans who are, sending loads of love. So all the attention is towards that.
Okay, that's good. Now let's start with straight away by asking you all the right questions, Abhinav. And let me first and foremost ask you that you have been constantly saying in your interviews and sometimes even in the show that we have a clear winner, Rubina. This thought comes to you, this thought has come to everybody actually, almost right from the beginning, maybe after 4 or 5 weeks of the show. How do you say that so emphatically?
How do you say that so emphatically?
Yeah. इतना पक्का कैसे है आपको कि मेरी वाइफ ही जीतेगी? क्योंकि मैं ये सवाल इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ. Let me complete the second part of the question. Because there is a general feeling, often it's a feeling again in Bigg Boss that this show has already decided the winner. It happened last time when people said that Siddharth is going to win, right? And Siddharth won.
No.
Correct. This time also it happened. This time also it happened that people said.
So let me give you some very solid. Let me give you some very solid, information on it. When the show started, first few weeks, I think probably by the 5th week, I remember Ijaz Khan very clearly saying कि Jasmine जीतने वाली है show. कोई भी कुछ भी कर ले, Jasmine is a clear winner. And few people, I don't know who all, but few people agreed to him. Of course, I also knew Jasmine is very strong. Her fan following is amazing. She is definitely going to reach the final. Up through the course of the show, I had no clue where Rubina and, my standing is in the show, because whatever feedback we got was from the, guests who used to come or the people who had gone out, and then they used to come back and give us the feedback. And it's very remarkable that all the feedback given to us never made us realize, especially me, that, we are doing good or we are doing bad or we are just like, okay. Apart from Vikas Gupta, who said like, Abhinav, you are doing really good. I think nobody else even had given me slightest of hint that where is my standing vis-a-vis the, rest of the contestants. Yes, there was some sort of feedback given to Rubina that Rubina, you are strong, you're doing good. But the major chunk of the feedback which came from outside was for Ijaz Khan, was for Jasmine, Ali, a few other people. So I had no clue what was the standing of Rubina or me, till the time a press conference happened where, there was a board set up and they asked Rubina, where do you see yourself in terms of making headlines on this chart? And I rated myself around 6th or 7th position. That is when the host, us time pe Kamya thi, she corrected, no Abhinav, why couldn't you be on the 3rd? And then she just asked the press like, what do you think? And they said, yes, 3rd. So that was the day I realized, okay, I might be doing slightly better than, what the contestants had manufactured the narrative that this guy is boring, संतरे खाता है, सेब खाता है, और वो उसको इतना repeat करते रहे कि बाकी सब convince हो जाएं. मैं नहीं हुआ. But that day on the press conference day, I had slight, hint that I am also doing okay. Now, when I got eliminated, I came out, I saw the response of the public. I met common people on the streets. I remember I came out and, the 3rd day I was jogging on the street, I met people. People who are not obligated to be nice to me. They came and they said, sir, Rubina jeetegi. And that is when the realization dawned upon that, yes, she's been doing amazing inside the house, but I want to know public's view. And when I came out is the time I realized that she's in fact really being loved by public and people. And that's when I made those statements that Rubina is a clear winner.
Okay, so you are saying that you made the statement based on
And
the fan
also
base,
one,
based on the interactions
yes,
with
and
the fan.
also Vicky ji, there was another one very important thing, that me and Rubina were the only people who never went out and came back. Rest everybody had some sort of information, or maybe some people were loaded with information from the outside. So we were the only one who had no clue what is happening in the outside world as per our standing is. And honestly, that helps. So that was also one reason I knew Rubina is going very organic. She is, whatever she is doing is honesty, is honestly herself. So that is one reason, I also said that she's a clear winner.
But that was
because
also
whoever
one
went
reason,
out came back.
That was also one reason, अगर आप लोग बाहर नहीं गए ना, जैसे कि आप बोल रहे हैं, of course, और हुआ था,
yes.
तो उससे और शक बढ़ गया कि भैया ये दो ही Rubina has been inside, is the only one who's inside, who's not going in and out of the house, and therefore she only is going to win.
So वही ना, as I'm saying, whoever goes out comes back as a changed personality. Audience cannot connect with him. So whoever went out came back, and we were able to discern a clear change. So of course, Rubina was there since day one. So her graph was very organic, and there was a lot of honesty in her, approach towards the show, and that definitely audience will catch and they'll love it. So based on that, and based on what I saw outside, I knew that she's a clear winner. And she has been discussing whatever topics she picked. She was very, clear with her thoughts about it. चाहे वो logically सही हो गलत हो, doesn't matter, but she was very clear about what she's saying, and that clarity is very important because you cannot confuse.
I'm glad that you have connected with the thoughts, and she is connected with yours. That's what you both are saying now, that the things are far better, and you're back on a smooth track as far as your marital life is concerned. But I would just like to know that how a show, maybe for whatever days you were locked inside that, of course with other contestants as well, how does the show bring you that close and iron out everything? When you come back to your house also, or when maybe when you were out and she was still playing, don't those bad memories or those bitter memories or those quarrels whichever you all have had, don't they come back?
Okay, so Vicky ji, there's a very it's deep down in human psychology that whenever few people are fighting a common cause, उनके आपस के जो differences है ना, वो iron out हो जाते हैं. And I very well remember telling Rubina, like jokingly before going to Bigg Boss, that once we go inside, whatever little fights we had, those will become very small in front of what we see inside. Okay. And that actually happened. कभी देखा आपने, two people get stranded somewhere. Let's say two tourists, unknown, ajnabi, they got stranded somewhere. Yeah. It's bound that they'll start working as a team. That's basic of human psychology.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. Once we went inside, there were a lot of fights with, other people, difference of opinion. And some fights were like illogical, according to me. And I knew when we see somebody fighting over a stupid reason, we would watch each other's back. And that's exactly what happened. And that's how we started coming closer. And of course, we got a perspective of each other, what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are.
Okay. So after she has come back home, have you all spoken about this? That okay, now it's all behind us and we are back to where we started from?
Absolutely. We spoke about it on the show only, that this is whatever happened has happened. This is my mistake. This is this is how I am, this is how you are, and maybe we can just find a middle ground and things would be amazing. And in fact, it's on the show that me and her are speaking about how I'm like more inclined towards logically problem solving, and my tone is incorrect, and sometimes I get aggressive with that, and how she will understand logic if the tone is correct. So वो चीजें हमने discuss की हैं at length, and I think we have a.
So are you taking the blame now? Are you taking the blame on yourself largely?
See, इसमें ना वही it's a cliche, but ये होता है, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. That's what I realized. I know it's a very cliche. It might sound cliche, but it actually हकीकत में हुआ है. that women are not designed to understand logic if the tone is incorrect. आप अगर बदतमीजी से या एग्रेशन से या चिल्ला के बात करोगे, वो नहीं उसको समझ पाती हैं, या मे बी उसको समझना नहीं चाहती हैं. एंड फॉर मी इट इज ऑलवेज लाइक मिशन फर्स्ट, उसके बाद इमोशंस पहले, जो काम है, कार्य है, लेट्स डू इट. सो बट दैट्स नॉट हाउ लाइक humans should operate. If we have relations, and emotions play a big part. So that's what I realized, and yes, I take the blame on me.
एक और घिसी पिटी बात आपने बोली है, और उस पर मैं चाहता हूं कि आप elaborate कीजिए, because you took that word cliched, which reminds me that in a few of your interviews you have said that we had differences because we were two very strong individuals. Now this has been told by dime a dozen people. Any celebrity or any person you ask who has had differences with his spouse or girlfriend, he or she always says this statement. I want you to elaborate on this, Abhinav. What exactly do you mean by saying that you people are two strong individuals, and what were those differences?
Okay, so what do you mean by two strong individuals is that I think it stems back from our struggles. She comes from Himachal, from a small town, a village. She made her way all the way, to this point on her own. She struggled on her own. Same is the case with me. I came from Ludhiana. I was an engineering student, but I made my mark in this industry, and I reached so far. So when you have, a journey, which you have covered yourself, of course, there's a lot of support from friends and family, but yeah, your struggles, they make you a very strong personality. There are things which you don't compromise on. There are things which, you say aise hi hongi, because that's how I've learned it. So that's when, the clash is there. So that's what I mean by two strong personalities, that we both have very strong opinions about life. We have our struggles. We have learned lessons. We have certain principles, which we don't compromise on. So that's where the clash starts. And that's what I mean by two strong personalities.
I understand you are saying that the two personalities in question here, you and Rubina, are fiercely independent and at times fun. You hold on to what you say, you hold on to what you think. But I just need you still to elaborate. What were those things which, maybe one or two, which you all were holding on to and stubborn about?
So, like I said, for me, it's more about logic and mission. काम है वो काम करें. उसमें मेरी tone कैसी है, मैं कैसे बात कर रहा हूँ. For that, time doesn't matter to me. But to the other person who's being involved, if the tone is incorrect, it doesn't go well. So there was nothing as such like so big, but there were small things, small disagreements.
ठीक है, वो आपकी साइड हम समझ गए. हाँ. अब उसकी ऐसी कौन सी साइड थी जो आपको नहीं जच रही थी उस वक्त?
Exactly this one. That for me, it's यार पहले ये काम है. Let's finish this. This is how it needs to be done. And my tone was incorrect, and she was reacting to it. So it was nothing one small, one big thing. It was all shoti cheezein which piled up. And lockdown was a, difficult time for everyone. So whoever's gone through lockdown under one roof knows it.
Yeah.
So
3-4 people, 5 people sitting in 2 rooms, constantly, no privacy. You're constantly, या ऐसे क्यों हुआ, ये यहाँ क्यों रख दिया, ये फलाना आदमी अंदर क्यों आया, फलाना आदमी बाहर क्यों गया.
So I think those lockdown amplified those little misunderstandings.
The daily situations, you mean to say? Yeah. I completely understand what you say. I'm going over to your wife's arch rival Jasmine, and she has come out and said, your wife has come out and said that Jasmine has still not wished her about the victory. Your take on that? Your comments?
So, again, I'll say, I don't know Jasmine. So, ये 100 बात की एक बात है, I don't know her, because what she was in the beginning what she was when Ali came, what she was when she came back. I'm confused. So I don't know Jasmine. So I don't know what to say.
You've been there with her in the house. So, and plus, what is your opinion about somebody not wishing somebody?
I think it doesn't matter. छोटी सी बात है. पूरी दुनिया wish कर रही है. And I think I was the day I came out, I actually left a lot of Bigg Boss stuff behind. जब से हम बाहर भी आए हैं, we hardly have discussed about, any arguments we had or somebody's personality. And I think it's good because it's over. All that was happened in Bigg Boss house, वहीं उसको छोड़ आए हैं. And I think it's common sense if you try to talk too much about it. अभी जो ये golden period है in which there are a lot of people, calling you for work, trying to interview you, that baggage will show in that. And that's not cool.
Yeah.
So I've kept everything there and I've moved on.
The baggage word reminds me again something that Rubina said about Jasmine. And she said that when she came back to the house, she still carried that baggage with her. What was that? So that was visible. That was apparent. That was so visible on, if you see the episodes. So मैं तो खैर 2 ही दिन था अंदर जब वो आई. Yeah.
उसके बाद I haven't seen much when I came
out. So what was visible?
But yeah, it was. There is some sort of. She said कि अभिनव दुख होता है कि तुम्हें दोस्त बोला. And काश राहुल तुम्हें दोस्त बनाया होता तो अच्छा रहता. So everybody in fact Ali had a question कि ये क्या हुआ भाई, तुमने क्या कर दिया? I had a question, क्या कर दिया? Everybody had a question. So I thought maybe when I went out, I thought maybe I'll find an answer to that question कि ऐसा क्या हो गया? वो भी नहीं पता चला. So ये एक mystery रह गई कि हुआ क्या भाई? चलो हो गया, छोड़ो. क्यों investigate करना? It's not that important because honestly I don't know her.
There's someone who got along very well with you and Rubina in the house, and that is Nikki Tamboli. There is a belief outside, and Devolina Bhattacharjee has actually spoken about this on record, that Nikki Tamboli jitna bhi distance cover kar rahi thi Bigg Boss mein, she was just clinging on to Rubina, and that was the reason that Nikki went so far. Do you agree?
No, absolutely not. If you talk about that, there is a task in which Rubina always wins and she has an option of saving someone, then I can say, हाँ यार उसको बचा लेती है. But this is a clear-cut nominations होती हैं. There are nominations and when people vote for you, and if you are not getting enough votes, you go out. So absolutely nobody can save you from it. So that is actually that's a myth. And there have been times in Bigg Boss where I haven't seen Bigg Boss religiously, but there have been times in Bigg Boss where there are 2 people who are very thick, and one of them, gets voted out. So yeah. So whatever Nikki was doing, I don't think she was doing because she thought she'll, get to the finals because of Rubina. What she was doing was because, when she went out, she came back and she realized there are nice people who public is talking about, somebody who's nice. And she thought maybe, that's it's a good idea to be with, befriend someone who's nice actually. So that's what happened.
Can I put it this way, that you go to a party,
yeah,
Nikki भी वहाँ है और Jasmine भी वहाँ है. You and Rubina will acknowledge and hug Nikki Tamboli and ignore Jasmine Bhasin.
I don't know about Ruby, but I will just say namaste. That's my best reply to everyone. Namaste.
Which means you will acknowledge her.
Of course, there's no. See, I'm not angry. I'm not seething with anger. I'm not I don't want to see her. It's just simple that I don't know her. So, Bigg Boss mein thi namaste. That's it.
What you're actually saying is that you fail to understand her, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Fine. A very interesting thing happened with you, Rakhi Sawant. I don't think I need to talk about the incident, what she did by pulling at these strings. What exactly did you feel at that time to what she did? Was it shock? Was it embarrassment?
When she did it, it was violation of my personal space, and I don't know if if you have seen all the episodes, but I kept saying from day one that I have a lot of respect for my personal space, and which not just the show, but Bharat Sarkar has granted me that right to protect your personal space. And that was the sole reason in any number of fights or arguments I had inside the house, I never violated anyone's personal space, which a lot of other contestants were doing. So, and Bigg Boss says it's a show about speaking. It's not a show about physically intimidating someone. So I kept hammering it to people that I respect my personal space. Uske baavjood, what Rakhi did was not cool. And at that time, instead of shouting, I thought I'll just go and in a very serious tone tell her that don't do it again, because then I can do anything. My instinctive reaction could be like pushing you away. You will get hurt. Don't do it. So that she takes it seriously. So us time I thought itna usko chilla ke it won't have that impact.
उसके बाद में भी आपने उनसे बात नहीं की इसके बारे में राखी के साथ?
नो, उसके बाद हुई ना बात वहीं पे. उसके बाद ही तो वो बवाल हुआ जो एक हमारा स्टैंड ऑफ हुआ था. And then it was solved.
Because we are not shown everything, so I'm just trying to figure out.
No, वो हुआ, वो सब दिखा है. जो हुआ वो सब दिखा है. मतलब जो उसके बाद में हुआ है वो सब दिखा है. So it's out in front of the public.
Did you feel happy? Did you feel proud of Rubina's reaction to that incident? When she just came to the center and said, lay off. This is my husband. Did that incident also bring you further close to your wife?
Of course. If you see throughout our journey, both me and Rubina, we were watching each other's back, which is very natural. Because now we are, in front of people who we don't know. Few of them, of course, we knew, but we didn't know anyone, and how they'll react. And they were picking up fights, few intentionally, few not. So it became a natural, instinctive response. I'll watch her back, she'll watch my back, and that's exactly what I say. We came out stronger by the end of the show. That was the reason. So thanks to all those people.
No, I'm just trying to get at exactly what you felt, when Rubina came and said, lay off. This is my husband. Exactly what did you feel?
So that brings a sense of belonging, you're strong.
That means the seeds of the relationship, what you're saying, are not weak. Though it may have had a few differences here and there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fair. Your fight with Aly Goni, you pushed him, it became violent. What is the status now between you and Aly?
He's a nice kid. I like him, and that there was just that college thing we did. We have done it enough in college, whenever there were few arguments, we used get physical and all. So that's okay. I mean, there's no hard feeling about it. So it's all chill. That happens in the heat of the moment when the task is going on, he's pulling on something, you're pulling on something. It happens. So no hard feelings though.
You were confident that your wife is going to win, which is fine. But कहीं ना कहीं आपको लास्ट डे या मे बी पेनल्टीमेट डे पे ये डर बोलो या ये नर्वसनेस बोलो, ये ख्याल जरूर आया होगा कि शायद अगर रूबीना नहीं जीती तो ये आदमी जीत सकता है. कौन था वो कैंडिडेट जिसका आपको डर था?
Correct. So see, I was confident that Rubina will win once I came out. उससे पहले I was confident that she is one of the prominent and she's done her journey amazingly. लेकिन बाहर आने के बाद लगा कि it is between Rubina and Rahul. Watching all the trends and Twitter and everything going on social media, but I had a feeling that it could be Rubina and Nikki or Rubina and Aly in the final. Aly, whatever you say, was little more entertaining and than Rahul, and his emotions came out like he was able to express his emotions very well. So I was thinking it could be Nikki or Aly standing next to her.
Your wife said in one of the interviews just about a day or two back that Bigg Boss has been a learning experience, though not exactly in these words, but it has changed her to some extent. What has it changed in you?
Okay. So I remember having this conversation with Vikas. Vikas and me were like one day sitting in the outside lawn area in the Bigg Boss house, and I was telling him, I'm forgetting things. I used to read a lot, especially about science, about latest findings and facts, and but now I feel like I'm forgetting things. I'm forgetting the third law of Newton's third law. I'm forgetting this. I'm forgetting names. And I told him, I think my IQ is going down. So he's like, don't worry. Tu yahan se दुनियादारी सीख के जाएगा. And I said, yeah, that's very, that's good, because what is happening now is I'm a better problem solver when it comes to, human interactions, conflicts. I was a great problem solver. Agar aapki gaadi kharab ho jaye, kuch ho jaye, you were stranded somewhere, I'm a great problem solver. But now I'm a good problem solver when it comes to, human interactions. And I've become a little more patient listening to people. Earlier, I used to walk away from arguments, saying, "Theek hai yaar, tum kar lo." So I was that, it's nahi, acha, you're arguing. This is how it should be done. This is the logic. If they don't understand, fine, do your thing. Now I insist a little more, and now I'm more engaging in arguments of whatever issues, and now I'm more able to express my opinion. Like I've become a little more insistent. Yeah.
What you're saying is that you have understood the importance of relationships, and you can talk about them.
Yes.
You can discuss about them.
Yes.
You can guide people.
Yes.
I mean, perhaps, of
so
course,
no more
that's your
escapism.
take. I mean, whether they understand or no is a story later on.
Correct. So no more escapism from that.
I must ask you that where is the next trip between you and Rubina? Because you both are very fond of, trekking and going on the hills. ये क्या आजकल बंद हो गया है और या फिर से शुरू होने वाला है?
नहीं साहब, अभी तो टाइम ही नहीं है. There's a lot of things happening.
अभी टाइम नहीं है, but yes. But is there?
But नहीं. Definitely. In fact, once things are a little streamlined, we will plan some sort of trekking, probably up north, and so now it would be like one hardcore trip, my way, which is like trek, camp out, and one little full of luxury trip, that's her way. So वो अभी plan कर रहे हैं कहाँ और कैसे, but as of now, there's a lot of work and calls and meetings to attend. So maybe by April.
Babies? Any plan to start a family?
No idea yet.
नहीं?
No idea. अभी कुछ नहीं, अभी discuss ही नहीं किया उस बारे.
Okay. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you,
Abhinav, and please extend our congratulations to Rubina.
Will do that.
May you have a very happy married life now, hereafter.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you again on ETimes TV.
Thank you.